A billionaire's daughter refused to learn from her private teachers, but she listened to a homeless girl. What the billionaire did next shocked the whole world. The poor homeless girl touched the heart of a billionaire's daughter, but when the billionaire saw them together, nobody expected what came next.
The sun beat down on the busy streets of Lagos. Cars honked, traders shouted, and children wove between stalls chasing after coins and roasted groundnuts. In the middle of that chaos, a girl sat on the bare roadside, a torn exercise book spread open on her lap. Her blouse was ripped at the shoulder, her wrapper faded from too many washes. She had no shoes, only dusty bare feet pressed against the hot earth. Her name was Amina Musa, 14 years old, a homeless child who had learnt to survive with scraps. Most people ignored her, but today was different. A sleek black SUV pulled up by the roadside. The tinted glass rolled down, and a girl in a crisp blue school uniform leaned out. She looked about 10 years old, with braided cornrows that glistened with beads. She held a pencil tightly and stared curiously at Amina. "Excuse me," the young girl said, shyly. "Can you help me with this question? Daddy says I must finish before we get home." Amina blinked, surprised. She was used to people throwing insults or coins, never questions. She glanced at the open schoolbook in Zara's hands. Fractions. She smiled faintly. She knew this. "You must find the common denominator," Amina explained softly, pointing with her finger in the air. She guided Zara step by step until the answer appeared clear. Zara's eyes lit up. "Wow, you're so smart," Zara whispered, grinning. From the front seat, the driver, Mr. Tunde, glanced back. He frowned slightly. Why was the billionaire's daughter talking to a dirty street girl? He shifted uncomfortably, but said nothing. Inside the SUV, another pair of eyes watched. Chief Adewale Okoro, Zara's father, billionaire businessman, sat in silence. His face was stern, his abada blowing in the sunlight. He stared at the barefoot girl teaching his daughter from the roadside. Something stirred in him, irritation, confusion, and a strange curiosity. But just as Amina leaned closer to explain the next question, a group of boys from the street shouted and laughed. "Bookworm beggar, go and find food," they jeered, throwing pebbles. Zara flinched. Amina lowered her head, ashamed, but continued to explain anyway. The billionaire's hand tightened on his walking stick. His eyes narrowed. This was not something he could ignore. The SUV door clicked. Slowly, Chief Adewale stepped out into the noisy street. His abada swept the dust as he walked toward the two girls. The traders paused, murmuring. People rarely saw a man of his wealth step out in such a place. Amina froze. Zara's pencil dropped. The street grew silent as the tall, powerful man stopped directly in front of the barefoot girl. "What is happening here?" Chief Adewale asked, his voice low and heavy.
The street was quiet. All eyes were on the rich man. Chief Adewale looked down at the homeless girl. His face was hard. His agbada moved in the hot wind. "You," he said, "what are you doing with my daughter?" Amina held the book close. Her hands shook. She wanted to run, but Zara spoke first. "Papa," Zara said quickly, "she was helping me. She knows maths. She showed me the answer." The driver, Mr. Tunde, cleared his throat. "Sir, maybe we should go. This place is not safe." But Chief Adewale did not move. His eyes stayed on Amina. "You can read?" he asked slowly. "Yes, sir," Amina said. Her voice was low but clear. "Who taught you?" "My mother, before she died. She said books are light." For a moment, the billionaire said nothing. He only stared. The crowd around waited. Some whispered, others shook their heads. Finally, he said, "Get in the car." Amina's eyes grew wide. "Me?" "Yes, you." Zara clapped her hands. "Papa, please, let her come. She is kind. I like her." Mama Grace, the fruit seller nearby, called out, "Oga, this girl dey suffer. She no thief. She only read book. Please help her." The crowd murmured louder. People watched the rich man. Would he send the girl away, or would he shame her? Chief Adewale raised his hand. The place fell silent again. His face showed no smile. He said, "Enter. Only for today. I want to see with my own eyes what you know." Amina stood still, her bare feet pressed in the dust. She looked at the black car, shiny and big. She looked at Zara's smiling face. She looked at the billionaire's strong eyes. Her heart beat fast. Was this a trap or a door? Slowly, with shaky legs, she stepped forward. She touched the car door. The crowd gasped. The rich man moved aside for her to enter. As Amina climbed inside the car, the traders whispered louder. "Ah, the poor girl enter billionaire car. What will happen to her now?" The door closed. The SUV engine roared. Dust rose as the car began to move. But in the driver mirror, Mr. Tunde frowned. He did not trust this street girl, and the look in the billionaire's eyes was not soft. It was sharp, hard, searching.
The black SUV moved fast. Amina sat quiet. Her hands held her old book tight. She looked out of the window. Tall houses passed, big shops, clean roads. It felt like another world. Zara sat close to her. She smiled. "Don't be afraid. My papa only looks angry, but maybe he is not." Amina said nothing. Her heart beat hard. She thought, "Why did this man take me? Will he send me to prison? Will he beat me?" Chief Adewale sat silent, his eyes closed. No one spoke again until the car stopped. The gate opened. The SUV entered a huge mansion. The house was tall, white, and wide. Flowers grew by the walls. Guards stood at the gate. Amina's mouth opened. She had never seen a house like this. The driver parked. The doors opened. "Come," the billionaire said. His voice was deep. Amina stepped out. Her bare feet touched smooth stone. No dust, no noise. The place was too clean. They entered the mansion. The floor was shiny like glass. Big pictures on the wall. Gold chairs. Amina felt small inside it all. "Sit," the billionaire said. She sat carefully on the edge of a chair. Zara sat beside her. Then the man asked, "How did you know those maths questions?" "My mother taught me before she died," Amina said softly. "She said, even if you have nothing, knowledge is food. After she died, I kept reading the books she left." Zara looked at her father. "Papa, she is smart. She can teach me better than my teacher." The man's eyes turned to his daughter. "Zara, do you trust her?" "Yes, Papa, she is good." The room went quiet. The driver shifted. He wanted to speak, but held his tongue. Finally, the billionaire stood. He looked at the poor girl. "You will teach my daughter, but only here, not on the street. I will see if you are true." Amina blinked. "Me? Teach her?" "Yes, you will stay for 1 week. If you lie, you go back to the street. If you are true, we will see." Zara clapped her hands with joy. "Yes, yes, Papa!" But Amina's hands shook. She looked down at her torn blouse, her dirty feet. A poor girl teaching the daughter of a rich man? Could it be true? The guards outside whispered. The maids whispered. Everyone in the mansion was shocked. The billionaire had brought a homeless girl inside his house.
Came. The big house was full of light. Birds sang in the garden. Zara sat at a wide wooden table. Books and pencils were in front of her. Amina came in slowly. Her wrapper was still old, her blouse still torn. She felt shy. The maids looked at her and whispered. One maid laughed. "Look at her. Can a beggar teach the daughter of a rich man?" Amina heard the words. She kept her head low. She remembered her mother's voice. "Knowledge is food. No one can steal it." Zara waved. "Amina, come, sit here. Show me again like yesterday." Chief Adewale stood by the door, his arms crossed. His eyes watched every move. He wanted to see if the poor girl really knew anything. Amina picked up a chalk and wrote numbers on the board.
Her hand shook, but soon her voice grew firm. She explained, step by step. She made it simple. Zara's eyes grew bright. She understood. After a while, Zara clapped her hands. "Papa, look, I can do it now. She taught me well." The billionaire's face showed no smile, but he nodded slowly. He had seen with his own eyes. The poor girl was not lying. She truly knew. Still, the maids whispered at the door. "This cannot last. The master will soon send her out." The driver, Mr. Tunde, shook his head. "I don't trust her. Poor people are full of tricks." But Zara turned to her father. "Papa, please let her stay longer. She teaches me better than my teacher. Please." The man looked at his daughter. Then he looked at the homeless girl standing barefoot in his mansion. He thought deeply. "Fine," he said at last. "She will stay. For now, but if she makes one mistake, she goes." Amina's heart jumped. Stay? In this big house? It was like a dream. She bowed her head. "Thank you, sir." Zara hugged her tight. "Don't worry. You will stay forever. I will tell Mama, too." Amina froze. Mama? She wondered what Zara's mother would say when she saw her. Would she accept her or throw her out? Chief Adewale's eyes grew dark. "Do not be too happy yet. My wife does not know you are here."
The sun was high when the sound of another car came through the gate. It was a white Jeep. The door opened. A tall woman stepped out. She wore a fine dress, gold earrings, and dark glasses. Her steps were sharp. It was Madame Ephoma, the wife of Chief Adewale. People in the street feared her. Even the guards stood straight when she walked. Inside the house, Amina was still showing Zara how to read a storybook. Zara was laughing, her voice loud. She forgot her mother was coming. Then the big door opened. Madame Ephoma entered the room. She stopped at once. Her eyes fell on the barefoot girl sitting beside her daughter. "What is this?" she said, her voice cold. The maids ran to greet her, but they hid their smiles. They wanted trouble to start. Zara jumped up. "Mama, this is Amina. She is my new teacher. She is very good. Look, Mama, I can read better now." Madame Ephoma's eyes grew hard. She dropped her bag on the chair. "Teacher? This dirty child? Who allowed her into my house?" She turned to her husband, Chief Adewale, who had just walked in. "So this is your plan, bringing a beggar to sit with our only daughter? Have you lost your mind?" The room was quiet. Amina held Zara's hand tight. "Mama, please! She is kind. She helps me. Don't send her away." But Madame Ephoma's face was like stone. She pointed at Amina. "Leave, now, before I call the guards." Amina stood. Her legs felt weak. Her heart burned with shame. She wanted to speak, but her lips were dry. Chief Adewale raised his hand. His deep voice cut the air. "She will not leave. I brought her. I want to see what she can do. 1 week, that is my word." The wife gasped. "You choose her over me?" "I choose to test her," the man said firmly. The maids looked at each other. The air was heavy. The rich man had spoken, but the wife's eyes were full of fire. She walked close to Amina, her heels clicking on the floor. She bent low, her face inches from the poor girl. She whispered, "You will fail, and when you fail, I will throw you out myself." From that day, life in the mansion changed for Amina. Sarah was happy to learn every morning. She listened with joy. She laughed when she understood. She begged Amina to stay beside her. But Madam Ephoma did not smile. Her eyes followed Amina everywhere. She gave her small jobs. She told her to sweep. She told her to wash plates. She told her to serve water. One evening she said, "If you are truly smart, then teach my daughter more than numbers. Teach her to write. Teach her to speak in front of people." Amina nodded. "Yes, ma." She was afraid, but she agreed. The next day, Sarah stood in front of her father and mother. She held a small paper. Her hands shook, but she read every word Amina had taught her. Her voice was clear. Her face was bold. Chief Adewale nodded slowly. "Good." But Madam Ephoma's face stayed hard. She turned to Amina. "Maybe you can teach her, but you cannot live here forever. Look at you. No shoes, no dress. What will people say if they see you in this house?" Amina lowered her head. Shame burned in her chest. Zara held her hand and whispered, "Don't cry. I am with you." Later that night, the maids gathered in the kitchen. They talked in low voices. "This girl is strong," one said. "But Madam will not stop," another replied. "She will find a way to push her out." The next morning, Madam Ephoma made her move. She called Zara close. "Your teacher will take you to the market today," she said. "If she is wise, she will keep you safe. If she is careless, we shall see." Zara smiled. She liked the idea, but Amina's heart fell. The market? She knew the streets. She knew the danger. What if something bad happened? The driver, Mr. Tunde, shook his head when he heard. "This is trouble," he whispered to himself. "If anything goes wrong, the girl is finished." The gates opened. The car waited. Zara took Amina's hand. She said, "Don't worry, we will be fine." But as the car rolled out of the mansion, Amina looked back at the tall white house. Madam Ephoma stood at the balcony, watching with cold eyes.
The market was full of noise. Women shouted prices. Men pushed wheelbarrows. Children ran with baskets. The air was hot with pepper, yam, and smoke. Amina held Zara's hand tight. She remembered her own days here, begging for food, hiding from bullies. Now she was back, but with the rich man's daughter beside her. The driver, Mr. Tunde, followed close. He kept a stern face. He kept his eyes on them. "Look, Amina," Zara said. "So many fruits. Can we buy some?" "Yes," Amina said. She gave the woman at the stall some money from Madame Ephoma. The woman, Mama Grace, smiled. "Ah, it is you again," she said softly to Amina. "But today you look different. You hold the hand of a rich man's child." Before Amina could answer, a group of rough boys came near. Their faces were hard, their clothes dirty. One pointed at Amina and laughed. "See the beggar girl! Now she pretends to be rich, walking with fine child." Another boy pushed forward. He looked at Zara. "Bring that bag," he shouted. He tried to grab it. Zara screamed. The market froze. People turned. The boys laughed louder. Amina pulled Zara close. "No, leave her," she cried. She stood in front of the billionaire's daughter, her body shaking but firm. The driver rushed forward. "Stop there," he shouted, but the boys scattered fast, laughing as they ran. Still, Zara was crying. Her small shoulders shook. Amina hugged her tight. "Don't cry. I will not let anyone hurt you." Mama Grace came out from her stall. She pointed at Amina. "You see, this girl has a clean heart. She protects your daughter like her own blood." Mr. Tunde looked at Amina shocked. For the first time, he saw she was not weak, she was brave. Later, when they returned to the mansion, Madame Ephoma was waiting. Her eyes searched Zara first. "Did anything happen?" she asked sharply. Zara ran to her. "Mama, boys tried to take my bag, but Amina saved me. She stood like a wall. She protected me." The wife's face fell. Her lips tightened. She looked at Amina with fire in her eyes. The poor girl had passed the test she wanted her to fail. Chief Adewale came from his study. He heard the story. His face changed slowly. For the first time, his hard eyes grew soft. But Madame Ephoma clenched her fists. In her heart, she was not done yet.
That night, the mansion was quiet. Zara slept early, her small arms around her books. Amina lay on a mat in a corner room the maids gave her. She could not sleep. She kept hearing Zara's cry at the market. She kept hearing her own voice shouting, "Leave her." In another room, Madame Ephoma sat with her husband. "This is madness," she said coldly. "You bring a beggar girl into this house, now she eats our food. Tomorrow people will laugh at us." Chief Adewale leaned back in his chair. His face was calm. "Did you not hear what happened in the market? That girl saved our daughter. She is poor, but she has courage. I cannot turn away from that." The wife's eyes flashed. "Courage? She is a street rat. She will spoil Zara. Send her out before it is too late." But the billionaire shook his head slowly. "No, I will not send her. I saw her heart. She is teaching Zara better than all those rich teachers we pay." Madame Ephoma's lips tightened. Her gold earring shook as she stood. "If you will not send her, then I will. She will not stay here to shame me." The next day, she called 2 maids. She whispered her plan. "You will watch her. You will look for one mistake. If she touches anything that is not hers, tell me. If she argues, tell me. I need one reason, just one, to throw her out." The maids nodded quickly. They began to follow Amina everywhere. If she took water, they wrote it down. If she cleaned her clothes, they whispered. If she sat too long with Zara, they rolled her eyes. Still, Amina kept calm. She focused on her lessons with Zara. She read books with her. She drew letters on the board. She explained numbers until Zara laughed with joy. But one afternoon, while Amina washed her face at the back of the house, she did not see Madame Ephoma standing behind her. The wife's eyes grew cold as she watched. She pointed at the small bar of soap in Amina's hand. "Where did you get that?" she asked sharply. Amina froze. Ma, I found it near the basin. I thought it was for anyone." The wife's voice rose. "Thief! You are a thief!" The maids ran close. They nodded fast. "Yes, ma, we saw her. She took the soap without asking." Amina's heart sank. Soap. Just a small soap. Was this the trap? The shout of Madame Ephoma shook the mansion. "Thief! She stole soap!" The guards ran. The maids gathered. Even Zara came running. She saw Amina standing near the basin, the small soap in her hand. Tears were in Amina's eyes. "Mama, no!" Zara cried. "She is not a thief. She was only washing." But Madame Ephoma's face was hard. She turned to her husband, who had just stepped into the yard. "You see, I warned you. This street girl will disgrace us. Today it is soap. Tomorrow it will be gold." Chief Adewale's eyes moved from his wife to the poor girl. His face was calm, but his silence was heavy. Everyone waited for his word. Amina dropped to her knees. "Sir," she said, her voice shaking, "I did not steal. I only saw the soap and used it to wash. I have never stolen in my life. My mother taught me, better to sleep hungry than to take what is not yours." The maid shouted quickly, "No, sir, we saw her. She took it." But Zara ran and hugged Amina. She cried into her blouse, "Papa, please believe her. She is good. She is honest. She saved me in the market. She teaches me every day. She is not a thief." The yard went quiet. The billionaire stood tall. His gray-black hair caught the sun. His deep eyes studied every face. Then he raised his hand. His voice was low but strong. "Enough. I have watched this girl. I have tested her. She is not a thief.
She has more truth in her than many who wear fine clothes." The crowd gasped. The wife's face turned red. "You believe her over me?" she shouted. "Yes," he said firmly. "I believe what I see. This girl has given my daughter knowledge. She has given her courage. She has given her love. And you," his eyes moved to the maids, "you planned this lie. I know it." The maids dropped their eyes. Fear showed on their faces. Then Chief Adewale turned back to the poor girl. He lifted her to her feet with his own hand. He said, "From today you will not be a guest. You will be family. You will go to school with my daughter. You will have clothes, shoes, food, and a place to sleep. You will not live on the street again." The yard broke into whispers. Guards, maids, everyone was shocked. A homeless girl, now living as part of the billionaire's family. Amina's tears rolled down her cheeks. Zara hugged her again, smiling through her own tears. But Madame Ephoma stood stiff. Her eyes burned with anger. Her hands shook.
The mansion was still. All eyes were on Chief Adiwali. He had just called the poor girl family. Madame Ephoma's chest rose with anger. She stepped forward. "Family? This dirty child? Never! I will not stay in a house where a beggar sits as my equal." She turned to the guards. "Throw her out!" But the guards did not move. Their eyes stayed on the rich man. Chief Adewale lifted his hand. His voice was calm but deep. "No one will touch her. From this day, Amina will live here. She will learn here. She will grow here. She is my daughter now." The crowd gasped loud. The maids covered their mouths. The driver's eyes widened. Even Zara shouted with joy, "Papa, thank you. Now I have a sister." But Madame Ephoma's voice shook with rage. "You choose her over me?" Chief Adewale's face turned hard. "I choose truth. I choose kindness. I choose what is right. Amina has shown me more than money ever could. She will not be cast out. If you cannot accept her, then you must decide if you will stay in this house." The wife froze. The words cut deep. For the first time she had no answer. Her eyes burned with tears of shame. Slowly she turned and left the room. Silence filled the hall. Amina stood with shaking hands. She whispered, "Sir, I do not deserve this. I am only a girl from the street." But the billionaire placed his hand on her shoulder. "No," he said, "you are more. You are proof that wisdom can come from anywhere. You taught my daughter, and you taught me. From today, you are not homeless. You are home." Zara hugged her again, laughing with joy. The maids, one by one, began to clap. Even Mr. Tunde, the driver who once doubted her, smiled and nodded. The story of that day spread far. People in the market spoke of it. Traders told each other, "The billionaire took a poor girl into his home. He made her his daughter." And the lesson was clear. Kindness can lift a person higher than gold. Knowledge and courage can open doors no one expects. My friend, if this story touched your heart, do not just watch and go. Click subscribe now so more African stories can reach you.
Share this video with family and friends so the lesson can spread, because kindness grows only when we pass it on. Turn on the bell too so you never miss the next story. Let us keep the fire of our folk tales burning together.